Bedtime Story. Castle Keeps Quiet Night. Welcome to the grand castle, standing majestic as the day's light fades and evening encroaches. As dusk settles over the land, the stone walls of the castle begin to cool, and the echoes of the day's merriment give way to a more hushed atmosphere. The banners stop fluttering, the torches flicker gently, and the residents of the castle prepare for a night of rest. Are you ready to traverse the grand halls and hidden passages, bidding each part of the castle a noble goodnight? Let's wander through these historic corridors, whispering goodnights to the ancient stones and spirits that dwell within. Hello, Grand Hall. The Grand Hall, with its high ceilings and echoing acoustics, has hosted feasts and dances throughout the day. Now, it rests silent, the banners along the walls gently swaying in the draft. Can you hear the soft clinking of armor? Let's bow deeply and offer a regal goodnight. Good night, Grand Hall. Hello, Royal Chambers. The Royal Chambers, decorated with lush tapestries and fine linens, have provided a haven for the lords and ladies. As the candles dim, the plush beds invite their occupants to dream of days of yore. Shall we tuck the corners of the sheets and whisper a luxurious goodnight? Good night, Royal Chambers. Hello, Castle Towers. The Castle Towers, rising proudly above the surrounding lands, have stood watch under sun and stars. Their stones now cool as the air stills, their lookouts peering into the distance. Let's lean over the parapet and sigh out a watchful goodnight. Good night, Castle Towers. Hello, Dungeon Deep. The Dungeon Deep, with its cold walls and darker secrets, has quieted, the clanking of chains stilled. As the torches burn low, the shadows grow longer, covering its mysteries once more. Can we clasp our hands and murmur a secretive goodnight? Good night, Dungeon Deep. Hello, Armory. The Armory, filled with weapons of old and armor polished to a shine, has equipped knights for battle. Now, the swords rest in their scabbards, the shields hung on the walls. Let's salute the Armory's arsenal and clang a warrior's goodnight. Good night, Armory. Hello, Castle Gardens. The Castle Gardens, a bloom of colors and fragrances, have delighted all who strolled their paths. Now, the flowers close their petals, and the fountains trickle to a whisper. Shall we pluck a single leaf and rustle a floral goodnight? Good night, Castle Gardens. Hello, Castle Gates. The Castle Gates, heavy and formidable, have welcomed friends and barred foes. As they creak shut, the bolts sliding into place, the castle secures itself for the night. Can we press our palms against the cool wood and thud a solid goodnight? Good night, Castle Gates. Hello, Chapel. The chapel, with its stained glass and silent pews, has been a place of prayer and reflection. The last candle flickers before being snuffed out, the colorful windows darkening. Let's fold our hands and whisper a reverent goodnight. Good night, Chapel. Hello, Library. The library, a trove of ancient tomes and whispering pages, holds the wisdom of the ages. As the last reader departs, the scrolls and books settle into the silence. Shall we turn a page gently and bookmark a learned goodnight. Goodnight, library. All the castle's elements now stand in quiet unity, their stories woven into the night's tapestry. The stones of the castle whisper tales of old, each echo a reminder of the day's joy and the promise of tomorrow's legends. Now it's your turn to rest, little knight. Dream of gallant quests and noble deeds. Good night, little guardian. Good night, castle.